It's 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time on the 7th of October. It's a full moon day. I saw the full moon above Hogarth, my uh, elemental tree, last night. It's very pretty. I'm here and I'm waiting. Four of us are here. If you're here and you'd like to let me know who you are, please type it in the comments if you want. Stay anonymous and just hide in the background. Hi, Christy. Speaking of Christy Storms, if you have not seen the show I did Saturday, I did it with Christy and her husband, John, and it was about how a 6-month reading grew into a whole year's worth of Dead Files things. So, if you haven't seen that show, please go look at it. It's very interesting. And Christie's, the story just keeps growing. They just keep finding things out. They live on a homestead property. That go watch the show. It's way more than I can explain. But I'm glad to see they're handling it, and it's the reason I think it's a good story, and I think it's a good show for people to see and understand. It's how do you deal with it if you run into a big giant bushel of every kind of energy? And I heard a thing today. Tim Walters, who does house healings in England, and I've had him on my show. He did a show today. What was on for members only, but it was about what do you do with negative energy. And so he went into defining what is negative energy. And he said he looks at negative energy somewhat like Carl Jung looks at shadow work. I've always said we would never know the light without understanding, and seeing the dark without an understanding that it's there. There's no contrast for us. We need to have both sides. And if you've ever watercolored, that watercolor that's hanging behind me, I painted that when I was 11 years old. I know I should have kept painting, but I didn't. That's a place on the Great Lakes in Canada where I used to stay as a child. And there's a lighthouse out off a point. And, without all those gray tones and that storm coming in, you don't appreciate the calm waters. And here's somebody's comment. The full moon woke me up at 4:30. It was amazing. I went outside on my deck with my dog and sat in the moonlight. And that's a beautiful thing to be doing right now, for all of us, to be looking at the moonlight. And because some people did write questions, I'm going to go to their questions. And then I'm going to kind of talk to you a little more about where I am, and kind of some things I'd like to talk to y'all about what to do next, how to grow the channel, how to make, not just grow my channel, but how can my channel answer more of why you're really here. Here's the thing. Just say hello and thanks. Thank you. Oyster Diva. Thank you very much. Now, okay, this person wants, Michaelia, I think is what it is, wants a quick reading on her future. And what I'm going to use is, I'm going to use this deck, which is Wild Reflections, because I really like it. It's been very accurate for me recently. And I'm going to go over to where you can see what I read on the table. And one of the things I do have coming up is Psychic Profiles will be on Thursday. She says that was such great. No, it's on Wednesday. I'm sorry. Wednesday and it's Terry from Holding Your Space. I'll put a notice out about it. So if you're subscribed, you'll know it's happening. But it's It's at 1:30. It's not at 1 o'clock because of timing things. We're doing it at 1:30. And it's going to be a live psychic profile. And if you know Terry's story, it's fascinating. She's kind of like Val. She was born into the tribe and didn't have to fight with family about being who she was. But it's interesting. Okay. Do 5-card reading from Michaela. Okay. You're moving on, and you're moving on from you've had some friends in the past who were duplicitous. This is the 3 of Cups upside down. You had some people around you that were lying to you, and you're becoming very aware of that, and you're deciding you're not putting up with that anymore. You want to go be who you are, which is the Queen of Cups, women with a lot of emotion. One of the things I love about tarot is we can always turn that around. Do see yourself as that person, as the Queen of Cups, as a person who is working with her emotions. And this is the Knight of Swords, and I love this Knight of Swords. He's on, kind of look like Fonzie. He's on his motorcycle. He's rolling away. So you're moving on, and it's not going to be right away. It's going to take longer than 9 weeks for you to get settled. But when you do get settled, you're heading towards the 9 of Pentacles, the woman in the garden. That's where you're aiming towards. You're just not there yet. It's not going to happen immediately, but it's clearly on the way. But the most important thing is, yes, it's been painful for you to look at these people who were lying to you or misleading you or not telling you the whole truth. And it's just time for you to move on and become your own soul self that you want to be. Okay, so that's my... Okay. I've got a couple questions. I'm highlighting them here. Okay, we'll look at that. I heard a weird noise. I don't know what that was about. Okay, we're going to look at the questions that I've gotten. And we're going to hide you and go back to see what people want to know about. There's a lot of change going on, and I'll tell you one of the ways I can sense change is I was talking with Scott on Sunday, and I saw real fairy lights. I mean, when they go across my vision, they look like those little tiny lights, that people have in the gardens that are like fairy lights. Also, I want to apologize for my hair. I am getting it cut on Thursday. My hair goes from being a relatively nice older woman's haircut to Einstein hair in like 2 minutes. And my hair stylist couldn't see me till Thursday. So we're going to start looking at some other questions. Oh, just some stuff so you who are trying to figure out what you want to type. What would you like me to talk about more? I'm having open mic today because I'm having open mic today. I've been in the middle of arranging a lot of psychic profiles, and I'm trying to fit those in. I pick up readings, which you can find at my website at crystaldirections.com, how to get a reading. I am booking the 2026 readings. But as far as talking about subjects, I've been looking over subjects I've gone over in the past, and a lot of you are new, so you may not know this, but I've done whole shows on tektites, which are the stones that are formed. Those are rocks that fall from space and land here, or they cause ground to shift here. Moldavite is one. There was an asteroid that hit the Earth at one point, and it created the stone Moldavite. The only place you can find it is where that happened. I've done shows on those kinds of things. I've done shows on crystals that are corrected, gemstones like rubies, and some sapphires and stuff are actually better if they do get a certain kind of treatment because it makes them more stable. Anyway, I can talk about crystals. I can talk about stones. I can talk about different kinds of readings. I can just do open readings because this is the easiest thing in the world for me to do is open readings. Just picking up a deck of cards and reading because I've been doing that since I was 12. We could talk about life patterns. We could talk about things we see in our world and how to redirect our own energies so that we can live with a certain level of confidence inside ourselves. And I realize the world's throwing us a lot of curveballs right now. And I'm not diminishing how nuts the world is out there. But if you get secure inside yourself, all that stuff can happen. And it's not that you're not touched by it. It's not that you don't have empathy about it. It's not that you're cutting yourself off from your humanity. But you don't have to take a bath in the fear. And that's what they're trying to create in us, is a lot of fear. And when you don't get tied up in the fear and you take the longer view, it's like when you look back at historic lessons and you go, oh, this happened, and so the whole world changed. Well, like, for those of you, I know a lot of British history. The William the Conqueror, he came across in 1066 and he took over England, but he actually didn't get control of the country for 8 years. And there were all kinds of things that happened during that time. But when you look back and they try to put history into a little book so that we can all understand it, they say it was 1066. So what may look like the end right now may not be the end. It may not be how things are always going to be. It may be that things are changing that are making things a lot brighter for us. I don't know how the rest of you are faring, but I did get my Social Security check in my account today, so I know they're still sending those out. So please, if you can calm down and just not tie into the fear, if there's some way I can help you deal with that, I'm willing to try and help people with that. But now, we're going to start with questions. Talk of not paying the federal employees once the shutdown's over. I'm going to use my bunny cards for that. Y'all know my little deck of bunny cards. This is my bunny card deck. Trying to get them all out of the box. I tell you, getting cards out of the box is sometimes harder than anything else. There it is. That's the one I'm looking for. Nope. Okay. I want to make sure they're all in the right direction. Okay. The bunny card deck has an extra card in it, and I don't particularly appreciate it, so I don't use it as much. Okay, bunny cards over there. This is the extra, and it's the happy squirrel card, and it says just to read it when it shows up, everything's going to be wonderful. Well, we already have the sun and other cards for that, so okay. Let's see. Our question is, talk of not paying federal employees after the shutdown is over. Will the issue of the federal employees' salaries be solved at the end of the shutdown in a positive manner? Nope. That's why the Republicans are going to have to go in 2026, because they're going to try and do this. They're going to try to disincentivize. I don't know if you guys know, but one of the major airports in California didn't have any air traffic controllers today. And they had flights going in there. And it ends up they were watching them from San Diego go in. But the particular airport they were talking about, and I can't remember its name, but you have to come over the mountains. It's a tricky landing. And eventually airlines are starting to divert flights away from there. But no, let's see, will there come a point where these people can will they get some of the payback, some of their salary back. The old tarot deck question, old tarot trick. Keep asking the same question until you get the answer you want. I don't think so, but we can try. Yeah, when justice returns. But until justice returns, until fair, just government comes back in, no. And it won't be this spring. That's once or spring. But it will end because the Three of Swords upside down means the pain will go away. When they get paid, they're not going to get paid their full salary. So I'm sorry. If that affects your life, I'm really sorry. Hi, Nancy Jean. Had a visitation this morning. Can you tell me who it was? It smelled like perfume, really strong. One of mine. Okay, I'm not going to do bunny cards for visitations. Let's see what we can see who it was. These are the Archangel Tarot Power cards. I really like these cards. When I first get it, before COVID, when I used to get a new deck, I'd read them. I'd do one free reading for anybody who came in Gretchen's store, and I'll talk about that in a minute. I'm going to be reading live on the 25th and 26th of this month at Dolly Python's. That's a Friday and a Saturday. That's the week before Halloween. I'll put the information up on the screen so you can see. If you're in the North Texas area, you can come see the real me. Who is visiting Vicki? It was her. It was the moon. It was Haniel. It's some woman who gave you a lot of guidance when you were younger. And she wanted to come back because she's coming to warn you about some changes that are coming towards you. This is you. This is in a past life. She's actually someone you've known through generations of your lives. And she's someone who comes to you at a time when you're having to make a strong decision. And it's one that's very difficult for you because this is the Five of Swords. You're feeling very ripped off by things right now. And she's there to assure you that it's really going to be okay. And this show, I know you've been making a move you didn't want to make, but I think it's actually better for you to make it. And you need to understand that moving back to where you're moving to, this is her message to you. It's really safer. And you need to let go of the negative forces, the negative shadowy parts that you totally relate to where you're going to, and move on. And you need time to detox, to get over all of this turmoil and having to make a decision. And you need to figure out how to plant your new seeds, how to plant new seeds for your life to make them work. And she's telling you, she's right by this card, the way the card's laid out. Maybe, okay, get my thing. She was right next to this card, and this is planting your seeds wisely, but you have to have the patience. You want it all together right now, and I think particularly this has been difficult for your husband, and for him, he's having to come back into a situation where he's having to trust someone, and he doesn't want to trust them. But she's there to tell you, if you can identify. What I see is a tall, slender woman with gray hair. And I don't know which lifetime she looked like that to you. She's not in our realm now. She came across to tell you that all of this chaos that's going on around you is going to be over and your husband's going to be fine. And for those of you who don't know, I happen to know a little bit more about her life than most people's because Vicky's been in classes I've run and stuff. So kind of had a little inside boost in that one. Helen R. Okay, we're going to do Ellen R. See how the rest of 2025 is going to go for you. So we're going to do this one. Oh, Ellen doesn't usually make it to our live show. She has further down in a comment. Thank you for making it. I appreciate it. But, you know, if it doesn't matter whether it's a live show or not, and there are other people who are going to get answers from what I'm reading for you. So what you've got going on. You're going to be, okay, I know this looks like one ugly damn card. This is the Ten of Swords. So by the end of this year, you are going to have shed so much stuff that did not serve you well. Right now, this last few months, you've been sort of resting and hiding out. This guy's floating down a river in a canoe. Normally, that's the Four of Swords. That's the knight hiding behind the swords. And you're letting go of a lot of anxiety. I'm seeing a pattern here because you're the second person I see that's letting go of a lot of anxiety. The Ten of Cups, I read it right side up or upside down. I read it the same way. Things are getting better within what is your real family. And it may not be your genetic family, but it's the people who are closest to you. You're going to get what you want. You got the Eight of Cups here. And when you do, you're going to be able to bow out and get out from under a lot of pressure you've had on you in the last year. So how's 2025 going to end up for you? Wonderful. Ellen, you're going to have a wonderful closing of the year. And you played it right. You stayed the hell. Did your family, I have a feeling your family had a lot of fights going on. And you said, not my job. You all figured out yourself. Okay. Do you see me moving out of New Mexico within the next year? Thank you. Okay. That's moving. I can tell you right now, I don't even need to lay another card. When I get the Knight of Swords on a reading, it means someone thinking about moving. They're going to be moving. What's happening? Where you're being is not, it's going to require a whole lot of changes within you. You have to get out of a lot of fights, but you're going to a better place. New Mexico's not been great. Sue, I think you went in there expecting some stuff, and you may lose some money or is that losing money? No, it's losing. You just feel like moving is a loss for you from this place, but death doesn't mean death. Death means death is like a portal. It's like a change in our life. And I heard an interpretation the other day that in the original tarot, the death card, the horse is stomping on the king's head, and it's just showing whatever was there before is now gone. It doesn't function anymore. There's going to be a whole lot of hoo-ha and fighting kind of around you, but I think you've been able to escape that so far, and you're going to a far better place, to a far better setup. So go for it, girl. I mean, and that comes from a Taurus who absolutely hates to move. So I would never encourage anyone to move. I hate it, but okay. Show. I was watching a reading about the orange Pluto, and a little voice came to me saying, he will be gone before Turkey Day. And I never say never call Thanksgiving Turkey Day. Was that my spirit guide? Okay, Priscilla, I can tell you right now a whole lot of feelings that we all have about him. Yeah, I think it was, since it came to you in a way that struck you. This isn't just inside me talking, it's another voice. That's a good example. When people say, how do you know whether it's your guides or whether it's your own mind? If you start hearing words that are not words you would normally use, then that usually means it's coming from another place to point it out to you. A friend of mine called me, who's another psychic, and she said, I had the weirdest phone call. She got a phone call from a guy who works typically totally 100% with extraterrestrials, doesn't touch anything but ETs. He had a vision that he saw Trump in not the most positive position, and he thought that was good. I mean, he called her because he was freaking out because he never sees things like that. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can do that. Sorry about that. That was me hitting the wrong button. Okay, I'm going to hit the right button so you can see my face. Okay. Heart rocks are really important. Heart rocks are one of those few forms that rocks can take that we don't normally see. I mean, they can form in nature also. People make a lot of beautiful heart rocks. And when you find a carved stone with like a heart rock, it means it's going to that part of your that it's talking to that part of your chest. It's talking to your heart soul connection. And they're real important for that. I had a client who called me yesterday, and I'd done a 12-month reading for her, and I told her she'd be pregnant by the end of the year, which is something she's really, really, really wanted to have a child. And it ends up she did get pregnant and she lost it. And she called me yesterday saying, I didn't call you when all that was going on because I wanted to save it till I could ask you what can I do. So I had told her, I know where she lives, and she lives near a really excellent crystal store in Austin. She went to the crystal store and she found 2 beautiful rocks to work with to help bring earth energy in, to help her reconnect to herself, because she's pretty torn. I mean, I had three kids. One of them was high risk pregnancy, but all my kids got here. Thank the universe. And I've never had to go through what she's gone through, but I've counseled people before, and stones are a really good way to reground yourself when you've gone through that kind of intense grieving problem. Also, we can just find heart rocks because our heart wants to give us joy. It wants to show us light. If you find, the other thing is, if you get crystals that are carved into a form, I don't have very many that are carved into like dogs or cats or Buddhas. I have a Buddha, but he's out of wood. When you have something like that and it's in crystal form, then that is the energy you're asking the universe to help you work with. So I had a friend who really loved critters, and she really wanted to build her psychic connections to be able to connect to pets. And I had told her to go find she found a beautiful dog carving and put it in the middle of her grid to make it work that way. So that's how you can use that sort of stuff. Does that answer your question, Miss Debbie? I hope so. Okay. And that's what their message is. Their message is to speak to your heart. Okay. My daughter, Mavis, is being benched in a sport she excels at. Can you tell me why and what she can do about it? I think I can do that one with bunny cards. I'm going to ask why she was benched and then what she can do. So they're going to be two different, you're going to see two different readings. Okay. You're going to, the first line is why she was benched. Oops. I wish. Okay. 3. Why was she benched? It's one of those cruel coach tricks to try and make them excel more. And she's always had the way greased for her because she's got the skills to be there. But this person feels like she's not living up to her complete potential. They're trying to push her so that she can do better. Now let's see. What could she do to change it? Oh, okay. This coach is doing this to her to push her out of her safety zone, to make her more aware of her skills. She's got a lot of things here. She's got a lot of 10s on here. It may actually make her reconsider how she views this sport altogether, but it's going to make her less defensive. It's been an attitude problem on her part. They're trying to get her from going into an attitude that could be lead to stormy seas and move to smoother ones. It's going to be a real wake-up call for her about what's going on around herself. And she's going to figure out she just can't strengthen her way out of this. She has to get her head together because you've got two 10s on here. And 10s mean this is a real turning point for her in her life. And I know it may seem very unfair to you and her at this point, but the coach knows what they're talking about. So I take that to heart. It's going to help her, and she's going to come out much better for it. And I either see she has a very male coach, or she has a very masculine woman coach. So. Someone was Moldavite. Moldavite is the stone that was made by the asteroid that hit in Germany. And I forget how many millions of years ago. Before I start doing Tektite stories, I'm going to get all my notes together so that I give you the right information. I love open readings and learning about elementals. Okay, I don't talk about them nearly enough. But they've been around me quite a bit recently, especially the chiropractors. They like to go with me to the chiropractor. Like the first time she was working on my back and I had my head down those little cushiony things, I could see Cecil's eye looking up at me going, "Is this okay?" No. Okay. Will I be able to keep my house and my dog? I'm lost in financial anxiety. Okay, let's see. I know, Prince Charming, Mom, you've had a lot of stuff going on around you. Okay, you've got some changes coming that you don't want, but they're really good for you. I mean, you're going to view them like the devil itself has risen into your life, but it's really putting you into a much better, more emotionally secure place. But you're going to be able to get past the financial anxiety, which is what I asked. This is a yes, 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 and these are 2 no's. This has been in the past. So much has happened you don't want. It's really hard for you to focus on the past, on how to find a path forward. But something's about to come in that's going to change everything. And Let's see what it's about. Oh, you got the happy squirrel. I thought I'd taken him out of the deck. I think it's going to be okay. Just the change is going to be difficult for you to understand. But I think, let's see about dog. Okay, there they go. Yeah, you're going to be able to keep the dog and get on with things. But it's not going to be till this summer that it's going to get resolved. Going to have a rough winter and spring. Sorry, I wish we had a better answer. Okay. I'm going to pull out my book of this is my book of dowsing things, and your question is okay. I know there's one in here. It's gonna take me to it. Let's see. Okay, we're getting to. I know there's one in here. These are all colored ones. Basic dowsing chart. Okay, now your question is. You're looking for more information and more information about redirecting your energies. Okay, so this goes from no, incorrect wording, information not available, change to a different subject, to yes. Then it goes, other information is available, ready, and depending on what I get on this, I'm going to see if I can help you with this, okay? Can she have more information? Okay, it's saying yes. So I can find you the right chart. Destiny numbers. This is all about directions. This is things, you're destined to be a leader, a diplomat, truly optimistic, all the way to magnetic and charismatic. But this is going to tell you how to direct your energies. What part of yourself should you be a nurturer, a total communicator? We'll see where it ends up deciding to send you. You need to be working more on your nurturing side, perfecting and always striving to the best possible for yourself. But you need to not be such a hard taskmaster on yourself. And that's how you should be redirecting your energy. You're really good at what you need to do, Lauren, but you shouldn't be so hard on yourself to get there. I hope. That's how we use the book of, there are a gazillion things in here. It's my other little book. Okay, Richline. Okay. I'm going to ask my fairy oracle cards because I think what you've got out there is not just a deer. I think you've got some real elemental energy in that deer. I had a lady one time, and she had the opportunity to get a rock from out of the woods near her house. And she found a place, and we kind of talked about it, and she figured out where she wanted to set up in her yard. So she set it up in her yard. And I still have the video. They came out of the woods, and it was right by the end of their driveway where their ring camera could see. And the first night that it was out there, I think it was the first night it was out there, this bear came up, came out of the woods, came across the road, came into where houses are. And apparently the bears in her area don't do that. And sat on the rock and kind of looked around and sort of patted the rock and left. And we have a video of the bear coming up and touching the rock and saying, "Yep, you're here. This is fine. You can stay here." So let's see what your elemental energy is. Why is that deer there? Which of the fairy wisdoms is it letting you know about? Oh. It says you're beloved. And I'm going to read you what, because sometimes what these things say and what's going on with them are two different things. And where's the book? I love this oracle deck. It's one I keep on my desk. And I just put that all on there wrong. Okay. And it's 27. Beloved, why do angels and elementals adore? Who do they serve joyously and tirelessly? You. You know the great work that you're here to do, and the earth is here to tell you, and that we're here to aid you in doing it the best we can. They help heal you when you're ill. They comfort you when you're sad. I don't know if you've been going through a lot, but this deer's showing up to remind you that to rejoice in divine nature, that you're unique within yourself. You've come to the earth to fulfill a destiny that no one else can do, so do that job and love yourself completely and on all levels. And when you think about that deer, ring a bell if you have some sort of small bell or whatever you have that you could ring to remind the angels that you're there. But that's what you're there for. They're reminding you that you're unique into yourself, and you need to work and do the work you need to do for yourself and not worry about everybody else. That's kind of a fun message. Okay, let's see what we got. Someone had inherited some Moldavite and has decided that she's going to wear it now. Moldavite's a very strong stone, and if you can, some people can't wear it at all, but most people can. And if it was your mother's, I'm sure it comes with all her blessed energy. Oh, someone has an ancestor that was related to the invasion of William the Conqueror. Woo! Do you know if he's in the Bayou Tapestry? Because a lot of the people that came over with him are in the Bayou Tapestry. Hi, Dr. Gail. Okay. I'm looking. Okay. I'm entering a new phase of my life. Any advice for me? Sure. We're going to pull you an oracle card too, because these are very strongly driven towards really good life advice and how to handle things. Oh, this is one of my favorite ones. You get to be a brat. See her? She's the brat. She's a fairy that's a brat. And the brat's actually kind of fun. I kind of enjoy being a brat. So I relate to this one. Release the old selfish me. Step into the divine new pattern that's being brought around me so I can live in harmony. I embrace life and my good for my own good. I embrace the divine expression. I receive and accept guidance for my true path, and I'm open to be good. So be it. Spoil yourself today. Be a brat. If this card came up for you, ask yourself, am I just a tiny bit spoiled? Do you tend to put your desires above others, or do you neglect your own desires to take care of others? So if you're going into a new phase in your life, Angela, I can tell you, you need to be more of a brat. You need to take more good care of yourself. Open it up and allow it to blossom within you. It's not too late. Be gentle with yourself and with others. Be patient. Grow to embrace this divinely guided final point of adulthood. So if you've always been taking care of everybody else, you got the signal now. It's time to change. Okay, Nora. Okay. I take it about that's a person. Basil. That's just a name I'm not used to, Nor, but that's okay. Okay, let's see. I'm going to ask what his feelings are. I'm not going to ask for a projection of what your feelings are about the situation, but and you know I got to tell you the truth, no matter whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. He's in a lot of change in his life, and he's coming out of a difficult situation. There's a possibility for something, but in the past, his feelings about you, and it's not just you, he's very controlling about how he feels about anyone, and he doesn't value people in the same emotional way that you do. He values people for what he can get from a situation. He looks upon it more as an accountant, and he's not the sort to just fall off and fall in love, but he is ready to move on. He's ready to move out. So this is kind of a split shift. Let's see what's going on with the Four of Swords. Okay. Yeah, he came out of a bad situation where he feel like he got ripped off. He really tried in that situation, so he may not want to try right now. And what's the world? Yeah, he's afraid of the Tower. He's afraid of big change. So his feelings for you, could he have feelings in the future? Yes. For you right now, do not focus on that. Just be his friend. That's the best thing you can do. I believe that's what. Yes. Yeah, he's not ready to be in love. He's ready to establish a friendship. This is the Ace of Cups reversed that's right side up, it's love. So I'd say he could be a very good friend. One of the best guys I dated between my marriages was a guy named Lee, and he was just my best playmate ever, but it never would have worked out as a marriage. Matter of fact, when he got married after me, it didn't work out as a marriage there either. What's the new? General health. Okay. Hi, Denise. I see you hiding there in the chat. Your health. Oh, you've been going to a doctor you're not happy with, and so you're kind of two minds about things. You're not you don't feel like you're getting the answers you need from him, and you may need to go find a new doctor, Eliza. Or if you get a diagnosis, is this a doctor? This is the new doctor, and he's a kinder person who sits and talks to you more. And you've been coming to that conclusion that it may be time to shift doctors, and you're loath to do that because, I'm in the process of doing that too. It's not a pleasant thing to go through, but you need to do it because you're not getting. Why do you have the Nine of Cups upside down? Because the last guy just doesn't tell you everything he needs to tell you about what's going on around you. And you're really basically in good health. There's just something sort of hiding in there that he's not telling you. That in the long run, if it's allowed to sit too long, can kind of steal some of your get up and go and vim and vigor. But this card tells me, the Five of Pentacles reverse tells me, you're going to meet the people you need to meet. So I say if you're looking for new doctors, that's not a bad move. Vicky Howell's sending me strange messages I don't understand. Okay, somebody else thinks that the dumpster might be gone in November. I don't know. He's hanging on now. Way too many people are seeing him gone. Thank you. Popped up just when she needed it. Thank you. I like popping up when people need me. May I have a message for my spirit guides on the rest of 2025? Ascending Universal Butterfly. Okay. Well, I'm gonna use the Wild Reflections Tarot deck. I will be back next Wednesday, tomorrow, at 1:30 with Terry from Holding Your Space. We're going to be doing her psychic profiles. And today I'm working with some other people on getting their times arranged. So we're going to see. I'm trying to get some people from other countries. And so that's always a problem, arranging the time. I'd like to do them live, but if they're out of the country, sometimes I have to do them when we can do them. Okay, let's see. Okay. You're detoxifying a lot. You've been dealing with this is Seven of Cups. It's upside down, so you're unloading and getting away from a lot of illusions and delusions, which is really good for you because you're breaking free from some things that were holding you to a point you didn't want to be kept to. And your problem is you feel like, oh my God, I don't want to start again. There's your Page of Pentacles. I don't want to start again, but that's okay because you've got you're going to have some real interesting new opportunities by the end of this year. And you've got the world coming towards you. So the way I would interpret these cards is you've let something go. So you've had an illusion or delusion about someone. It was almost the point it was toxic. It was stopping you from moving forward. Now you're going to finally move forward. But this time it's the Page of Pentacles, which is person seeking knowledge. Pentacles are things that are really of the earth. They're things that are really around us. And you're going to have a new opportunity that's going to show up for you. And it's going to lead to a whole new world. It's the ending of a cycle and the beginning of a whole new cycle. So that, I think, Ascending Universal Butterfly is fun. You may not. I mean, it depends on how you view change. Okay. Oh, it's cool and rainy in Ohio. I understand some weird Arctic fronts coming through. It's going to stop before it gets to Texas. No thanks to us, let me tell you. Oh, yeah, Crystal Blue, he knows exactly how much you cared about him. I'm going to pull. I'm pull bunny card because it's a dog. Yeah, he always rode with you like a winner. He views you. This is the 6 of Wands. He viewed everything that you two did together as positive and loving, and he knows exactly how much you loved him. He was always your best supporter, and you were his best supporter. So don't ever have any fears about that. Crystal Blue, he knew exactly. I don't know. I'm not having any problem on my end hearing what I'm saying, so it could be on your end. I'm sorry about that. Okay, this is the last one I can do because I'm at 56 minutes. Kathy H., what did the card say for me for the rest of 2025? If I didn't get your question, it's not that I didn't want to. It's just I try to keep these things to an hour. Okay. You're going to be let go of a lot of grief you've had over money. You're moving. You're taking control of your own life, and you're going to be doing a lot of stuff on your own solo. Instead of working in groups, you're going to be doing some stuff on your own, but it all looks positive, especially these cards. They look great. And this one's actually a great card. The 9 of Swords reversed. I mean, who wants to live with that, right? That's what you're getting out of. And you've had some financial blows this year, but those are going to go away because you're going to, here you are, Queen of Pentacles on top of the money, top of what's going on, and you're moving on. You got the Knight of Swords. I'm seeing a whole lot of people moving on. I'm seeing the Knight of Swords quite a bit, and I think that's a good thing. And, okay, here's the answer to one. You're right about my shedding things in my past. You're also right about my family fighting. I stepped away from them. Thanks. It was a wonderful reading. I'm glad you liked it. And let's see if I'm going to look quickly down the questions to see if there's anything that's really critical. Oh, I'm going to answer BG. I'm going to put it, but I'm not going to put the camera back on the table. But this is her question. Her daughter-in-law lost her job. Oh, her losing her job from that place, that's the best thing that ever happened to that girl. She had no idea. She's stepping into a whole new job market, and she's got the skills to do it. Where she was just sitting there because she was afraid to move. The universe has a way of making you move when you don't want to. Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, I wish. Okay, I'm going to show you the cards. She was stuck in one place. This is her past. And she hung on there because people told her how she was adored and loved and stuff, but they didn't pay her crap. All they did was dump on her, dump on her, dump on her. And this is a 10 of rods. And this right now she's getting rid of them. And what she really knows how to do is going to come to light. And she has to watch out. She has some friends who will tell her, BG, you could have done better. The advice for her is to do what she thinks is right, not listen to everybody else. That's the right advice. So that's the last question I'm going to answer. And I want to thank everybody who showed up, and you know, I'm sorry I didn't get to the questions beyond a certain point, but I only had an hour, and I'm at an hour and 33 seconds. So I'm going to end this right now. And I will see you tomorrow at 1:30 with Terry from Holding Your Space. And and what I was going to show you, I will do this because this is for me. I will be live at Dolly Python's, which is a vintage store in Dallas, Texas. It's at 914 Haskell Avenue. You'll be hearing about it. I'm going to post it on my channel. I'm going to be live there on the 24th and 25th of this month, kind of a Halloweeny thing. I will be charging for readings, but it won't be a ton of money. It's sort of like one question and move on. We'll just see. And Dolly's is a place to go see anyway. It's lots of fun. And I'm doing that as a gift to my friend Gretchen. And I want to thank everyone who showed up. Bye-bye.